to Anything Goes. I'm Kombat All-Star here.
And this is Random Girl.
And today we're going to talk about love
jazz
interest.
voices, because we have jazz voices on right now. Oh, gosh.
No, we're actually going to talk about
Bear White.
love interests.
Love interest.
And I was just thinking, they announced that it's going to be a new, Oliver Queen is going to have a new love interest
And
for
if
the
you
second
didn't know
season.
I'm sorry, Combat, but if you didn't know who Oliver Queen was, he's the main guy on Arrow. He is Arrow on the TV
They
show.
know who Oliver Queen is. They my fans. They are fans.
All right.
So, yeah, I should have said that for the show Arrow, they're going to have a new love interest for the next season that they announced. And it's stupid because I'm like, Random Girl brought up a good point that he was with Felicity and everything. But my thing is like, why does he even need a love interest?
Mm-hmm.
And that got me thinking, like, there's been so many movies, so many TV shows from the back in the day had zero love interest, and they were great stories.
Mm-hmm.
And nowadays, I'm having a hard time thinking of any shows or any movies that don't have any love interest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And great movies like Last Action Hero, Longest Good Night, any of the Terminator movies, any of the RoboCop movies, like just any movie that I can think of.
Yeah, Combat was also saying earlier, Neverending Story, how how Atreyu didn't even have any love interest. They were,
and that could be arguable because it was kind of a kids movie,
but still,
yeah. I mean, there
were still adult situations, and if they wanted to, they could have had a love interest in there. But the point is, the movies and the characters were good enough all by themselves. They didn't need a love interest to, make anything great. Like, they were great all by themselves.
Long Kiss Goodnight, Beetlejuice. Yeah. I mean, the movie list goes on and on and on. And then now today, like, I've literally
Laverne and Shirley. We were talking about TV shows as well.
Oh yeah, Murder She Wrote.
Yeah.
Magnum PI. All Hawaii Five-0. All these shows from back in the day that had zero love interest, and they were great shows, well written.
Exactly.
And nowadays, like, I can't name one show that was made in the last 5 years that doesn't have any love interest.
Everything, exactly. And that's not to say that you can't have a love interest, but it's like, keep it like everything. Every single TV show, every single movie does not need a love interest. Honestly, I feel like that's what the genre's for. Romance.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep it separate. But for an action movie or any TV show or movie, what have you, it doesn't need to have a love interest.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a crutch. They're using it as a crutch. It's like, oh, we're gonna have some pretty girl. Like in Be Cool, it was like, there's always a girl. Why is there always a girl? For what? Mm-hmm. For what reason would you actually need to tell a great story to have a girl, or even if it's a guy? We're talking about Long Kiss Goodnight.
Yeah. Also
a great movie from back in the day.
Yeah. And exactly. That's actually one of my favorite movies. It is my favorite movie, Long Kiss Goodnight. Yeah, and
it's like, I mean, you had a female, Gina Davis was playing a female lead, no love interest, right? And then you were talking about Insurgent or whatever, or Divergent.
Oh, yeah. Insurgent was the first movie, right?
I can't remember. I don't really follow.
Insurgent, then there's Divergent. I believe Divergent was the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you guys know it's like, that was also a strong movie, and I really did enjoy that movie. But while watching it, you had the main character, and then you also had the guy co-starring with her. And it's like, it was a strong movie, strong story. It's like, why did you have to put them together? I thought they were just going to go throughout the movie being friends and then, conquer take down the bad guys, and that was it. And then they made them, romantic, and it was like, why did you do that? It watered down the story. And it changed the whole feeling of what was happening in the movie.
And I do realize that these are books and it's a mostly romance novel and everything. We get that. But as people that don't read the books and looking at the movie, it was a strong movie without the love interest. Mm-hmm. So it was not necessary.
Oh, well, Combat, I didn't know. It was a romance novel?
I found out later from fans I talked to. Oh, well,
then we have to scratch that one.
No, seriously, but that doesn't matter. The movie alone without that guy was still a strong movie. It did not need love interest, and the fact that they introduced the love interest still watered it down. So
okay, well, if someone's just staying true to the book and it was originally already a love interest type of scenario, then they're just staying true to the novel.
Forget that, man. I'm talking about good stories that are ruined by love interest. It's not needed.
Okay.
So that's the point that we're trying to make.
But they were sticking true to the novel. That's what I'm saying.
Forget about that.
But you can't add that in.
No, I'm looking at the movie as by itself. They always say movies are adaptations. You can't look at them the same as stories. The movie by itself was a good movie until that happened.
All right, Combat. I'm going to have to agree to disagree with you.
Oh, gosh.
But okay.
But yeah, so I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I don't get why they they had to do that. I mean, did Avengers have a love interest in it? I
don't believe so. I don't remember any love interest being in it. Avengers, well, you had Pepper.
Actually, I guess so, because every hero had their own movie, and every movie had a love interest.
Yeah.
So Iron Man had Pepper, Thor had Natalie Portman.
And you said within 5 years, so that actually fits, doesn't it?
Yeah. So there are love, you know what I mean? So that's happening in those movies too. So I mean, I don't know. Like I don't.
Well, the point Kombat's trying to make is like every single TV show, every single movie does not need a love interest. It's not needed. You know, it's just not needed. Write a good story and then take it from there. You know, you don't have to add the boyfriend or the girlfriend. Just let them be separate, who they are within that TV show or movie, and just continue the story on like that.
And like what you're saying too, you know, like sex sells and everything. We all know that sex sells, but it's like, do you think that your story isn't strong enough that, you know, you have to have some sort of sex related thing?
Because that's the popular thing. It's hot, it's steamy, you have a good looking girl, you have a good looking guy, let's put it together. But if you already have a strong movie, if you already have a strong story, then just stay with that. We don't need more, you know, because that a lot of times that waters it down. Just stick with the good story and script with what you started off with. You don't have to add all that other stuff to it.
Why do we have
it's already strong originally.
And you just said something that like struck a little nerve. Like, why do we have to have a good looking girl and good looking guy? Like, what happened to the scruffy real men and the real women? Like, what? Do I just gotta watch a Mad Max movie to get that or something? Like, it's just...
Yeah, Kombat, he's something. But
Mad Max, also another good one. That actually did not have a love interest in it. So that's a movie that came out in the last 5 years, no love interest. But...
It's very rare to find. And that's not to say, like, every TV show or movie doesn't have... They all have love interest. Some of them don't, you know, but it's very rare. It's hard to find.
Yeah, because, I mean, who knows? Mad Max could have fell head over heels for Furiosa, and it could have been something stupid. But I'm glad the guy who made the original Mad Max movie made this movie, because, you know, it didn't need it, and it proved it didn't need it, and it was a good movie. It was a good movie without it. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, for when it gets too romancy, I believe then that should stay in the romance realm.
Right.
You know, that's honestly how I feel. If you have a good action-packed movie or TV show, then keep it that way. You don't have to add all of that. A good example for me was Last Action Hero with Arnold Schwarzenegger. There was no love interest whatsoever. Even at times when I thought the little boy that was co-starring with Arnold Schwarzenegger, I thought Arnold Schwarzenegger was gonna hook up with his mom, but they never did.
Right.
And I was actually happy for it. You know, the two characters, they stood alone by themselves, and it was an awesome action-packed movie.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You don't need a love interest.
And I noticed we named a lot of action movies, but don't get it twisted. There's a lot of different type of genres of movies.
Exactly. I was just mentioning one.
Even like Aliens, the Aliens franchise. Sigourney Weaver never had no love interest in those movies. That was a horror movie.
She didn't need to.
And she was a strong character that was developed.
She didn't need to. And I think
awesome.
that if she did, the focus would have been less on her. The story wouldn't have been as strong. You know,
right. So
sometimes, romance movies have or when you add that love interest, it has ways of taking away from, you know, the character or the build up, the strength of the story and everything.
It goes from shifting. It goes from talking about the story and focusing on the story to focusing on these two people in love, which you don't need.
You don't need.
I don't know.
So yeah.
Just wanted to get there. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that it's necessary?
Oh, also, Kombat was also talking about how everyone looks like models today on the TV screen. Everyone looks like models. There's no diversity pretty much. Everyone's either a stick figure, really small or slim, or, you know, they always have to have the same type of hairstyle, or, you know, like there's no diversity, and everyone pretty much just looks like models. You know, I remember back in the day watching, this is my example, Laverne and Shirley, because they were beautiful women, but then they also had figures, you know. Help me out, Kombat.
Well, you just took us off topic.
Well, because you brought that up. You said, you know, how everyone looks.
Yeah, they do. But, like, it just was, like, one of those things I just thought of. I brought it right back, you know? Yeah.
Well, see, I didn't know.
I was trying to end the show again. And he's like, hold on there. Let's talk about something. We can talk about it, though, for a little bit. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's the way of Hollywood or the way of... I don't know.
Writing, Hollywood, the creators, production, producers, like, they seem like they're afraid of diversity. You can't have too much curves. Like, you can't... what happened to the average looking people? Like, everyone doesn't have to look like models in front of the TV screen all the time. Like, beauty comes in all shapes and forms and colors. They don't have to just be one way, you know?
Right, so...
And that's lacking today.
Yep, so. I agree. And And I don't want to get too crazy with it, but I mean.
Well, yeah, I was just talking about Kombat hit it for a little bit, so I figured I was gonna bring that out for a few seconds. Mm-hmm. I wasn't gonna go too deep into that, but. Yeah,
so I mean, like we said, I mean, I don't think it's needed. If you can tell a good story, tell a good story. I really do think it's a crutch, because like there's a lot of women online. I'm not trying to, generally speaking, I'll say, there's a lot of women online who love Arrow and everything, but it's not because they like the comic book. It's kind of like
because he looks great.
Because he looks great, and then they want to see him and Felicity get together and everything. And it's like, I guess it's a good way to draw in like a new audience or bring in a female audience. Mm-hmm. But come on, I mean, it's a comic. It already has plenty of fans. Just to the source material.
Gotcha. And he already looks great. You don't have to add too much to it to make it interesting. It already is interesting by itself. To be honest, my favorite heroes are Batman, as you guys will probably know if you watch the other Combat All-Star shows or podcasts. My favorite hero is Batman, and then another one who's also very enjoyable for me is Arrow. He's a strong character. He doesn't, and he already looks handsome on the TV screen. He doesn't need all these different love interests like he's 007.
I was going to say that too. He's not 007. He likes Black Canary, and that's. I mean.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. I don't know who the writer is or the creator is for that, but stop it. He doesn't need all these love interests.
He's had 3 so far. He's had
everybody.
He's had Laurel. He's had Laurel's sister.
Oh dear.
He's had Felicity. And now he's about to have this new girl.
Yeah, and he had a few others that were very short. It was very short.
Oh, Shadow. So
yeah.
He has 5 love interests.
And just when you get behind one, it's like, oh, she just went away. On to the next date.
Oh, she's dead.
For this week.
But he had Huntress too.
I told you, yeah. He had pretty much everybody. So it was like, chill out.
Yeah,
calm it down.
Stop it. Stop. CW, stop.
Stop it.
Stop.
Don't break anything that's not broken.
Yeah, so just...
Oh, no. Don't try to fix anything that's not broken. I just
we know what you
meant. That analogy.
That's all right.
All right, yes.
So, I mean, yeah, it doesn't need it. And, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you love the fact that everything has love interest in it? Or do you are kind of on our side and be like...
Yeah. And for the ladies, I know Arrow looks good. I'm not, I'm not trying to, say... I'm not trying to hate on the man or anything. I'm just saying... stick to the story. You don't have to change your girlfriend every week.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great story. Yeah. I mean, it's well written. Just you don't need it.
You don't need it.
You don't need it.
Jeff Johns, talk to him.
What that guy would say?
Jeremy. Yeah, so pretty much that's it. That's all we had to say for this podcast.
I'm glad I got that out. That was deeply therapeutic for me.
Kombat had to get it out, so I was like, come on, Kombat, it was deeply therapeutic. So we had to get it out for you guys. What do you think about the whole scenario, the love interests, and, is it too much in abundance for you guys? What do you think? Let us know. Hit us up.
Yes. And until next time, folks.
Peace out.
See you later.